All right, piss and vinegar day 13, shoulders and biceps. So took yesterday off again. I did my leg day. If you watched that video, I was sick, and I did a really short 5 minute leg day. Sort of showing. I did it partially because I wanted to show how good high intensity is in the sense that you can still train when you're sick or tired. But yesterday I was gonna train, but I was still sick, and I actually really like bicep and shoulders day. Um, Partially because I haven't lost a hell of a lot of strength on those muscles, even though I'm cutting. So I'm still kind of keen to do that day a lot, as I'm still sort of progressively overloading a little bit. Well, not so much, but yeah, there's still strength there. So I'm motivated to do it. So I didn't want to do it when I was sick because I didn't want to have to do some lackluster high intensity session. I wanted to do a full session. So I rested yesterday, and then we're back into it. I'm still sick, but not that sick. And I fucking massively carb loaded over the last 4 or 5 days. I've just been cheat. I've had a 4 in a row cheat meal. I really fucked up. I've gained like 2 kilos. So starting today, I'm back on the cut. I'm 80 now, and my goal is 75. So I don't know. I'll give myself another month. If I'm not 75 by then, too late, too bad. I'm gonna start bulking. I don't really give a shit about being shredded with abs, so long as I'm lean enough to start the bulk with a decent leeway. You got to start the bulk lean, but you don't have to be shredded, because if you're not lean enough, then you won't be able to bulk for very long. Ideally you get shredded, because then you have a longer bulking process, but the longer I put it off, the more I'm just kind of pissing into the wind, cutting. So yeah, anyway, onto dumbbell shoulder press. You're going to see some funky fucked up shoulder instability in a second when I do my rest pause. I like these more than the shoulder press, I think. I'm pretty strong at these, and I don't know, my shoulder presses are in general are better at the moment than my like bench presses and dumbbell. My bench press is really bad right now because of instability in my shoulder. So I'm really digging the overhead press, and previously, my overhead presses were actually never really gaining, but funnily enough, during my cut, my overhead press has gone up. So anyway, yeah, you can see that was some fucked, I don't know what happened there, man. My glenohumeral joint is just very unstable, and it just keeps happening. So I started doing this sort of like supinating dumbbell press, because I don't know, my shoulders just didn't want to stay pronated. So yeah, shoulder press, rest pause, no drop sets, nothing. Just I get plenty of stimulus on my front delt when I do bench presses and stuff. And then I tried out the cable side laterals again. Normally I don't do the same accessory movements 2 weeks in a row, but I wanted to give this another go, because last time I did it I liked it, but I didn't really perfect the whole movement. So today I went a bit heavier, that way I could drop set more. And yeah, I don't know. I dig these. I'll probably implement into my workout. And it's not that they're any better than dumbbells, but what I find, apart from trying to override the biological law of accommodation, I find that if you do the same movement every week, you start to kind of minimize the mind-muscle connection. You start to minimize the pump. I don't know what it is. You'd think it would get better actually, but personally, I've had movements in the past where I'll do them for a year straight. And when I first discovered them, I'm like, fuck, man, this is sick. Like, I'm feeling a mad mind-muscle connection, getting a sick pump, etc. And then somewhere along the way, I just stopped feeling it so much, and I don't know what it's all about. It might be because of shoulder injuries and other injuries, but I don't know. I like to switch it up for the law of accommodation, but I also switch it up so that everything keeps staying. All the exercises keep giving me a good pump and stimulus. That's just how it is for me. I don't know if it's like that for anyone else, but. So yeah, I'm cycling more and more movements in, and they're all relatively the same. They're slightly different, do slightly different things. But yeah, doing a drop set. Yeah, not much more to these really. I mean, if you haven't given these a go, you should try them. The big benefit is you don't have to grip onto them, right? So you have you have it strapped on. You have the ankle straps, and you strap them around your wrists. And that way you can change the sort of moment arm from your fingers into your wrists and isolate more of the side delt rather than, wrist flexors, etc. So yeah, these are pretty good. I'm digging them. And then I move on to a unilateral side raise just to get an extra drop set. So in all, I do 4 drop sets on the side lateral raises. I do a shit ton of side lateral raise drop sets because it's a smaller muscle, it can recover faster. And I think it's one of the most important muscles. I mean, like if you add a centimeter to each side of your delt, each side delt gets a centimeter wider, you will make a massive change to your physique. Even just a centimeter. Like think about what a centimeter of kind of that cap delt looks like. It makes a huge difference. So I think I try to overkill the side delts to make sure they definitely are gonna grow, even though they'll likely grow from 1 or 2 sets. I want to just make absolute sure because they're so important for your physique. And I mean, even half a centimeter, man, like just the smallest amount of side delt can really change someone's physique. And I mean, hell, if you were able to get like over an entire lifting career 5 centimeter difference on your shoulder width, that's a fucking total. That's a total physique change. Like, could you imagine if your clavicle bones were 5 centimeters wider? Like what you would look like if that was the case? Well, the only other option, I mean, that's not an option. You can't have wider clavicle bones, is to get those muscles bigger. So make those side delts pop. And then I move on to some bicep curls. I drank 3 Red Bulls and I was getting really fucking hot. So I took the shirt off. I was really steaming up. Yeah, so you don't normally see me lifting with my shirt off, especially during winter, mainly because I'm not overly impressed with my physique, but it's good to have the shirt off every now and then. That way I can, in the future, look back on my videos and see the gains, other than just flexing under the perfect lighting conditions. So yeah, doing some slight body English bicep curls, and then at the end I do some force reps with, cheat curls, and then I do a drop set. So I go from 50 to 30. And funnily enough, people say, oh, don't cheat on the bicep curl. I feel my biceps more on these body English bicep curls than I do on this fully strict bicep curl against the wall. When I do like wall curls, I do those for strength and for like a standardized strength test. I don't even do those for hypertrophy. And they're strict, and yet I feel them less in my biceps and more in my delts and abs. Whereas when you use a bit of a momentum and you kind of let the body work in its like sort of anatomical form, those cheat curls, I feel those more, and you can get away with a bit more weight too. And then I move on to the concentration curl. These ones are really good. I fucking love concentration curls. Not much more I can say. I wish I had a spider curl bench or a preacher curl bench, and that way I could do spider curls. Because preacher curls are stupid. I don't understand the point of preacher curls. Like, the resistance curve is retarded. Once you get to like 45 degrees, you're no longer even having any tension on the bicep. But when you flip that preacher curl bench around and you have kind of a 90-degree drop, you can get like a crazy contraction at the bottom and at the top, and then a massive stretch at the bottom. Especially if you lean over it with your humerus further up rather than like in line with your body. If you have your humerus sort of like at a sort of 90-degree angle to your body. I know there's a lot of geometry here going on, but you understand what I'm saying with spider curls. If you don't know what that is, look it up. If I had a preacher curl bench, I'd be doing those, because those look like that would cramp your bicep up at the top. Because yeah, when you lift your arm up, your bicep is in a more contracted position. Like if you put your hand on your back right now, and then flex your bicep as hard as you can, you'll fucking cramp your bicep. The contraction is that insane. So the further you can bring your elbow up from your body, the more contraction you can get on your bicep. And you can see this in Dorian Yates's Blood and Guts. He had a machine that would do this exact sort of thing that I'm talking about. But for now, I just suffice with concentration curls. Shit ain't that serious. And then I finished off with some hammer curls. These you can get you can do a lot more weight with. Yeah, I haven't done dumbbell hammer curls in a hot minute, but giving them a go again, trying a little bit different form. Previously, I would let the dumbbells swing a lot more. And I think that really took away from the contraction a lot. You're only contracting at the top. You're not really getting any stimulus at the bottom. This way, I do them strict, and then I do some cheat curls with the swing to get more reps. And then I do some kind of one at a time unilateral curls. And those actually hit my brachialis and my brachyradialis pretty hard. Then I'm doing a bit of posing. Still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway, just to future reference. That's it. Blood and guts. Fuck, not blood and guts. That's Dorian Yates' thing. Bit of a Freudian slip there. See you guys tomorrow for fucking piss and vinegar. Tomorrow. Bye bye.